Alicia, and welcome back to the E2B podcast. It is so funny. It is still within the holiday season, and so it's been a pretty relaxing time for me. As you can see, I have on my little comfy snuggie if you're watching this on Instagram. Actually, it's not a snuggie. What is this thing called? Anyway, the point of it is it's like a onesie. That's what it is, a onesie. Oh my gosh. But if you're not, viewing this on YouTube, did I say Instagram, y'all? Listen, it's the break. And so I've been chilling. Like, it took me a minute to get it together to even record this morning. I was like, oh my gosh, I've got to get out here and record. So, yeah, give me 1 second, y'all. I just realized another thing. I have not set my actual volumes. All right, there we go. All right, yeah. See, this is the thing about relaxing and being on break is getting back into the swing of things. But yeah, guys, I hope you've had a great holiday season so far. And it's interesting as we get into this whole mode of looking towards the new year. Many of us think of that New Year's resolution. Oh, I'm going to lose weight, or I'm going to exercise more, or I'm going to stop binging whatever it's on Netflix, right? We're just trying to make some type of, you know, change in our lives that's hopefully beneficial for us in the long run. A lot of times, what I've found for myself at least is that when it does happen, I'm going to make this resolution. I'm going to, eat better, whatever. For me, I might give it like a good 2 or 3 weeks, and that's being generous. And then it's falling apart, and I'm back to square one. Also, side note, guys, I got this new lip gloss, and like I said, if you're looking on YouTube, yeah, my lip gloss is popping. Like, it is amazing. It's called Rev. If I think about it, I'll share it in the show notes. Complete side note. But anyway, back to this. Yeah, so I was just like, I'm realizing the more and more that we get to this point of the year, it's almost like autopilot. It's like, okay, I'm going to do blah, 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 right? I'm going to make these changes. I'm going to, get on this diet, that diet, or whatever, and then go from there. And, it doesn't help either that media is, influencing, a lot of this as well. And so we're constantly bombarded with what that looks like in terms of like weight loss and, trying to have a certain image in the society, but not just really focusing on our health, right? And initially I was gonna like have all these articles and like talk about the articles, but I think it also takes not takes, but it's also important to listen to how things work for each individual, right? And for me, I decided to go vegan in 2010. I went vegan not because of a New Year's resolution. I went vegan because I have multiple sclerosis. And for those of y'all who have been listening to the podcast, that I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in 2010. And I wanted to make changes to my then lifestyle, which was basically eating any and everything. McDonald's was like my go-to for breakfast. Even sometimes if I just wanted to go and eat, a meal, a regular meal, I would go to McDonald's, or, eating just anything that's like overly processed. That was me. Donuts, you name it. I was that girl. And so the vegan diet has worked wonders for me, right? But that is me. Right? I can't say that the vegan diet is going to work for everyone. And I think that's another thing too we have to keep in mind, because I'm looking at this and I said I wasn't going to talk about articles, but I did find an article by Prevention, which is a health magazine. And I'll share the link in this actual in the show notes here for this episode. But this actual article is the 12 best diets for weight loss in the new year, according to nutrition experts. And this was written December 13th of this actual year, so 2024. And so it goes through the different diets. So they talked about the Mediterranean diet, right? Talks about the DASH diet, the MIND diet, which I had never even heard of. But I mean, I have to actually go into this more. So, well, actually, let's read it. It says the MIND diet is a bit different than others on this list. It's not focused on calories or weight loss. In fact, the MIND diet actually combines elements of the Mediterranean diet and the DASH diet. Okay. Castro explains that adding that it has a stronger focus on brain health. Oh, interesting. So the diet focuses on adding vegetables, especially green leafy vegetables, berries, nuts, whole grains, lean proteins, beans, legumes, and limits red meat and cheese, and allows for rare occasions of fried foods, pastries, sweets, and processed foods, Castro says. She notes that the diet is effective for not only brain health but also weight loss as well because nutrient dense and fiber rich foods help promote satiety and healthy weight. I'm actually glad I read that because that kind of leads me into really what I wanted to talk about. So it was actually good I had this article. And, it goes through other diets as well, the Atlantic diet, the intermittent fasting, which was a craze for a while, the paleo, definitely another craze, volumetrics. So volumetrics, I have to read through that too because I didn't even know what this is either. Created by Barbara Rolls, PhD, a professor of nutrition at Penn State University. Volumetrics is all about the volume or amount of food you eat. Oh, I mean, volumetrics, holy shit. More specifically, it's a diet that focuses on foods with high volumes of water and fiber. So, like fruits, non starchy vegetables, broth based soups, and non fat dairy, White explains. Your food will be categorized by how nutrient dense they are, while the lowest density foods allow for unlimited portions or volume. And foods more dense in calories are meant to be eaten occasionally. Below, White outlines the various categories on the diet. We're going to get back to the other one, but I just wanted to just read through this because I was like, I've never heard of this. So there's category one, very low caloric density, unlimited portions. So non-starchy vegetables, fruits, broth-based soups, and non-fat dairies. Category two, low calorie density. So it's moderate portions. So starchy vegetables, whole grains, lean proteins, and legumes. Category three is medium calorie density, so smaller portions. So there'll be the cheese, breads, desserts, higher fat meats. Category four, so this is the last category, y'all. High calorie density, so it's minimized or occasional use. So fried foods, candies, nuts, oils, and chips. And here's the thing. If you really look at all these diets and then it talks about Noom, what else? Vegetarian, obviously vegan, flexitarian, so you kind of like go between different things. Pescatarian, which is you're eating more of a fish-based diet. At the end of the day, guys, if you read through these diets, the theme of the majority of these diets are incorporating more nutrient dense foods, right? Incorporating more fruits and vegetables, right? Whole grains, limiting processed foods, if not getting rid of them altogether. And that's really it at the end of the day. Like I find myself so much more free in how I operate with eating since I've been vegan because one, it allows me to explore fruits and vegetables and legumes and nuts and things in a way that I never would have before. So I'm just so used to the traditional, a protein, a starch, a vegetable, done, boom, right? And then, whatever else that comes my way. But it's really allowed me to, like I said, explore different fruits and vegetables in ways that, like I said, it's just, I would have never done that. I feel more creative with my cooking and how I eat. I obviously feel healthier. And like I said, it wasn't a New Year's resolution. It was literally me attempting to help myself at a time that was very, very ill. And it sucks that it took something like that for me to think of my body as something that was deserving of the best fuel needed for it to function. And so, it can be sickness, it can be a resolution that you decide on during New Year's, right? I feel like if we're going to make a change in our diets and how we, exercise and how we consume media, like whatever that is, looking for a date or like waiting for New Year's, something like that. I think in some ways it creates this anticipation that then you find is like I waited all this time and I don't feel like there's any results. So I'm done or whatever. I mean, everyone has a different thought. For me, it was something similar to that where it was like, okay, I'm not seeing exactly what I want from this. And so because of that, I'm checking up the deuces because no, right? But I think thinking about new things and new concepts of how you want to move through life and how you want to whatever, I think it's a good thing. I'm not completely knocking resolutions, but I think if you're going to do something and you're thinking about doing it, why not do it at the time that you start thinking about it? Like, why does it take the new year to be the time that you can only create change in your life, right? I find for me that if I'm going to do something, I have to just do it when I'm thinking about it. Or I have to start putting in the work, like putting certain things in place, right? For me to get to the point of, okay, I'm implementing this into my life. Like start slowly incorporating fruits and vegetables more than I have ever before. Or, you know, try to limit the amount of processed food that I have, but not completely get rid of it, but just start being mindful of, oh, okay, I ate that now. I probably shouldn't have any cookies for the rest of whatever, right? And just being gracious for this, opportunity to take care of, yourself. Be grateful, be thankful to yourself, show positive behavior to yourself or show positive behavior. You know what I'm saying? Just be as celebratory to yourself, knowing that you're doing this for yourself and it's not this torture that you're putting yourself through in order to get this, amazing body or to look like a model or whatever the hell, some of us think when it comes to like weight loss and fitness and all that. Because honestly, the majority of us are not going to look like a model. We're not going to be that Beyonce, whatever. Even listen, I love me some Beyonce. Side note, the halftime special, everything, like it was everything, y'all, but that's a whole other story. But yeah, like for the majority of us, we're not going to have that type of, shape. We're just not, because everybody's bodies are different. Not everyone has that particular, body frame. So it's like, work with what you have, be grateful for what you have, and eat, as much fruits and vegetables as you can. Like I said, limit those processed foods and really just, like I said, just be observant of what you're eating, not judging yourself. Oh my gosh, I ate that again. Oh gosh, well, forget it. Let me just finish the whole, row of Oreos now because, well, I mean, what's the point, right? It's like not, beating yourself up in this process and knowing that you're not the only one going through this, right? I think in so many ways, I thought I was the only person on the planet who could not get their eating together. Meanwhile, I mean, I grew up around people who struggle with some of the same things, but it just did not resonate in my mind that they were struggling. It was just like, I'm just in my own world. We never talked about it. It was never a thing you talked about, or at least in my family, we just didn't talk about the struggles that we were having with our eating. We would joke and be like, oh my gosh, girl, I'm going back for another, slice of pie or whatever, and, cackle it up. But meanwhile, knowing, like, at least for me, I can't speak for everybody, just knowing, I just felt like I had no control. I was like, I've got to eat it. Like, I've got to, and it's that addictive type of behavior that keeps you in that spiral. And so that's another thing too, is like acknowledging like this has turned into like an addictive behavior, and I need to figure out a way to not only limit my portions or stop eating blah 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 blah, but it's like, what is triggering me to eat these things? Because it goes beyond you know uh, oh, it's the holidays, so I'm eating whatever. At least for me, because let me tell you something, before the vegan vegan diet and me really taking my health seriously, it was, and every day it could have been Thanksgiving for me. Like it was just like, I'm going in, all right? Like, so it's learning that these diets, while they can be a great tool to help you with how you're going to eat moving forward, to be completely honest, a lot of it is just you doing this as your everyday life, right? And knowing that, okay, I can have cake, I can have this, I can eat certain things. I just can't do it every single day, right? Or I know that I'm eating more fruits and vegetables. Have I had some sweets today? Have I had pretty much every day this week? Whatever. The point of it is you're incorporating more healthy things in your diet. So you've not completely blown the whole, quote unquote diet or whatever you want to consider it. You've not blown it because you've given your body so many good nutrients. And it's funny that I'm saying that now because we have a guest coming up who kind of talks about this to a degree. And it's like, really acknowledging that idea of it's all good. Like I've not ruined anything. And even like when you think about your resolutions, that moment that you quote unquote, eat the wrong thing or you didn't go to the gym or whatever, you missed a day and then you just blow it all up. It's like, forget it. I'm not doing it. No, that was just that day. You've not blown the whole, all the work that you've put in. Just get back, start all over again. If the day's not over and you still have to eat, maybe incorporate something else that's a bit more nutritious for your body. And like I said, just know that you're doing your best. I mean, because honestly, too, guys, there's so many things going on in this world. Let's be serious. Between everything that's going on with the election, this Donald Trump nonsense, Elon Musk, the tragedies going on all over the world. We're still dealing with the genocide in Palestine, still dealing with all of the atrocities that are happening in the Congo and Sudan. You know what I'm saying? Like the list goes on and on and on. And it's like we're constantly being fed all this information all the time, all day, every day, just flooded, 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 right? And sometimes it just gets to be too much. And sometimes you need a donut. And let me tell you something. I have no qualms with people eating a donut or just needing something to get, because sometimes you just need to just get yourself together. And if it's a donut, then it's a donut. But then you, like I said, get yourself back together and, move forward. And I know some people probably think, well, that's just you, masking whatever that's going on, right? Every time we have something that's overwhelming in our lives or something that's just too much to deal with, sometimes we need to do something. And it's not always it's going to be a perfect thing that we do, right? But if the donut is the thing that's going to get you through from, not losing your mind completely, then eat the donut. And then think about, okay, you know what? I ate the donut, fine, whatever. But maybe the next time I can use some type of strategy that will help me through these traumatic situations or this overwhelming stuff that's going on in everyday life. But like I said, don't beat yourself up because the donut is there and you decided to eat the donut. I mean, guys, seriously, there are bigger things happening in this world than us eating a donut and like about to lose it because we need some type of refuge. Seriously. So that it's that, yeah, what's it called? Both and. So like I can still be mindful of what I'm eating and incorporate more healthy foods in my life. And if I want to have that donut because right now I just want a donut, then I can have a donut. Like I am not going to continue in this life beating myself up with what I have eaten, how I've, consumed whatever. I did it. It's over. Like it's over. So like what else can I do? But just know that, what? It happened. It was good. And I'm just going to move forward in my life knowing that I'm doing the very best I can. You know what I'm saying? So all that to say, guys, everybody has their own journey when it comes to eating. My journey has led me to veganism and it has literally changed my life in so many ways. Find what works for you and find that thing. And like I said, find it in a way that is allowing your body to thrive, not survive, not just get by. You want to be in a position where your body is feeling good and you're able to, get up out of the bed or not have those terrible headaches or whatever it is. And a lot of that stuff, and if you're thinking about where's all this coming from going on in my body, the headaches, the this, the that, think about your diet. Are you drinking enough water, right? Are you eating whole foods? Are you eating fruits and vegetables? It's just things like that, just really being, observant of it. Like I said, no judgment, but just observing what is going on in your day to day and then make the adjustments. Not wait till the new year to fix it all. I'm 46 years old. And so for me, I'm constantly in a state of realizing like, girl, like we're like there's no turning back time, and we have to take care of this body even more so now because it's 46 years of living and dealing and doing and abusing, right, this body in ways that just wasn't the best. And now that I know better, I'm doing my best, and I'm not waiting for a certain date to make the change. Every day I get up and I say I'm gonna do my best. I'm grateful for this day. I'm grateful for new opportunities, and I'm going to do my best. And I think that's something we all can do for ourselves is just every day say we're going to do our best, do that, and then try again the next day if you feel like you need to actually move forward in a different light. Yeah, I think that's it, guys. So if you need to do a New Year's resolution, have your way. Like there's no judgment. Like I said, everyone's journey is different. But for me, I feel like I am doing my best each and every day to be my best self and not waiting for a certain date to do just that. Guys, 2025 is right around the corner, which is wild. It's wild that we are already, in the end stages of 2024, which was even though it was a really tough year, for me, it was a year where I really started taking in who I involved myself with, how I move through my own life and through the world, and, how I can be a blessing and not a burden in many ways. And also for me to realize that who I am and my amazingness, my uniqueness is worthy. And it's been such an amazing reflection and time to really understand and figure out who I am and still learning who I am. But this year was definitely a year where I really took the time to do that. And I focused a lot on myself, and I'm really happy about that. And I will continue to do that because, as time goes on, you realize like, oh, that's what I like. Oh, that's what I like doing. Oh, this or that or whatever. So it's been a great year. Like I said, it's been there's been a few rocky things, but I'm happy to have seen this year through. I look forward to what 2025 has to offer, God willing, that I'm around. And yeah, I'm excited. Really am. I know a lot of things can make us feel based off media and all this that things are going to be just doom and gloom. But for me, I feel like there's going to be more beauty than destruction and terrible things that are ahead of us. That's just how I feel. And a lot of people are like, oh, you're always so optimistic, this, that, and the other. But my thing is, I want to see the beauty in things. I want to see the joy in things and obviously acknowledge the injustices and, terrible things, but not live in it. And that's something that's so important for me. And I hopefully, that resonates with you as well. As like acknowledge, call out the injustice, definitely raise awareness around things that are unjust, but don't live in the toxicity of it all because it can really bring you down. 2025 is another year for me to continue to reflect on who I am as a person and to, like I said, continue to see that beauty in this world and know that the more that we raise awareness around the beauty and the love and the joy that we all have in common as humans, and to genuinely walk in that, we will be better people. So yeah, that's how I feel. I love y'all. I hope you guys are having a wonderful holiday season. I hope you have a wonderful start to 2025. Hopefully you're around people that you love and care about and vice versa. And if not, hopefully you will start to find those people in your life. I love y'all. And the next time you guys will hear from me will be Card Confession. So it won't be 2024 just yet, but the next actual episode will be of the Eat Me podcast will be in 2025. The actual, me sitting down and either interviewing someone or me behind the mic, one of the two. All right, y'all. I love you and I'll see y'all next week. All right. Bye.